Cut.
It's a comedy, man. It's supposed to be funny.
What are you talking about? I stabbed him in the eye. It was hilarious.
Meow.
No!
Come on, man. Just say meow.
Stop it!
I'll do it!
This isn't about you, Adorabat.
Meow! Meow, meow,
Great,
meow,
look
meow,
what you
meow,
did.
meow,
Look what I
meow.
did. Look what you did.
Meow.
Get away from me.
You just said meow, meow.
Adorabat, stop.
Meow, meow, meow. Cats don't listen! Meow, 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 meow,
Stop it.
meow.
You're embarrassing
meow,
us.
Meow, 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 meow,
Stop
meow,
it.
meow, meow, meow.
Stop
meow,
it.
meow.
Right?
Meow, meow, meow.
Meow!
For a while now, I was beginning to think that this huge renaissance of great cartoons we were having was about to end. Fortunately, Cartoon Network continues to prove me wrong with their newest edition, Mao Mao: Heroes of the Pure Heart. It's a show created by Parker Simmons, and he's actually been working on it for over 5 years now, and you can actually find the original pilot animation on Newgrounds, which is a little surreal to think about because Newgrounds was always this kind of low-key site that not many people knew about unless you're really big on cartoons and flash games in the early 2000s, and there was a lot of crazy and kooky animations that were thrown up on there, so it's really cool to see someone kind of go from making something like that on that website to now having an actual official cartoon on an actual network. Basically, the show is about this hero named Mao Mao and his best friend Bear Klops, and they adopt this kid into their group named Adorabat, and trust me, the name is as fitting as it gets. Currently, as far as I can tell, there are only 2 episodes available for streaming, but already I really kind of enjoy the vibe of this show. It has that feel-good vibe that I look for in most cartoons, especially ones where it's not so much a overarching story, there's just kind of random stuff that happens every episode, and this show kind of has that really nice classic Saturday morning cartoon vibe to me. It's like something that you just want to wake up and see funny characters do funny stuff. Another positive about this show is it's an actual action cartoon, meaning that you can expect at least one action scene every single episode, and I absolutely love that. It kind of reminds me of the old early 2000 Cartoon Network shows, similar to Powerpuff Girls, where every single episode they would just beat the living mess out of all the bad guys. And Powerpuff Girls was honestly one of the best because every single episode was filled with crazy fights that made you think, is this even allowed on television? Like, seriously, have you seen some of the stuff that's in Powerpuff Girls recently? I mean, they literally almost kill every single person they fight. It's insane. Now, of course, we live in the wonderful year that is 2019, so Mao Mao isn't as crazy or over the top as Powerpuff Girls, but it's very stylized and well animated. If I had to draw a comparison between which shows it kind of looks the most alike, it's probably Steven Universe in terms of the backgrounds. They really have that really bright color palette to it that makes it really pop, and that was one of the main things that did draw me into that show, so it's nice to see that this show also shares some of the same qualities when it comes to the art style. The character designs also kind of share that same quality. They have that look of the old school cartoons, kind of reminiscent of the early 2000s like I said before, and honestly just the vibe of it, it feels like they took a show, got in a time machine, and brought it to this time frame, and it's something that should have been released back in the early 2000 block. Some people might see that as a bad thing, but I actually really like that. I kind of miss the old vibe that the old cartoons kind of had, because nowadays they're very samey. Every now and then you'll get one that kind of breaks the mold and does something new and different, but a lot of the times they're kind of playing off of current trends and trying to be more memey and current, and yeah, I don't really like it when cartoons do stuff like that. It just kind of makes them feel even more dated, whereas the shows back then were very timeless. I mean, you could watch it at any point in time and it wouldn't feel like stale or old or anything. Now, of course, there are only 2 episodes to go off of, but they do kind of set the tone for the rest of the show, so I don't really see it taking notes from any of the other shows that have been coming out recently, so I think it kind of has a strong weight on its shoulders that kind of is lifted off because of that. The writers just aren't restrained to only making episodes that kind of play off of current day things that kids are enjoying. They can make things that can appeal to kids but are, you know, storytelling that doesn't necessarily have to do with anything outside of the show itself, and I really appreciate that. Back onto the topic of the show, let's talk about the actual characters. Now, in this show, the characters are super likable. Now, there's only really 3 of them as far as main characters go. There might be more that come later, but right now, based off the 2 episodes, there's only 3 characters, it seems like. Judging by these 2 first episodes, they really play off each other very well, especially Adorabat. She steals every single scene that she is in. The title character, Mao Mao, is a cat who's very short-tempered and has a bit of an ego that he likes to keep up, and you can tell that deep down he's really kind at heart. Bear Klops doesn't really have much going for him yet, as far as the 2 episodes go. I mean, mean, there could be an episode where it's all about him, but in these 2 episodes, he kind of just plays off the other 2 and kind of has witty humor to throw back at them. So it was really nice to see him do the stuff he did, but he really didn't get the spotlight of the show, so that's more to come. But I did like what was in there, so that's that. Now Adorabat. Man, oh man, Adorabat is just downright adorable. The way she looks up to Mao Mao is just a real treat to see. I mean, there's not really many shows where cutesy characters really appeal to me, but in this one, I just like seeing her get giddy. I just like watching it. I don't know, there's something about it, and the way the voice actors kind of makes her, you know, liveliness is just really nice to see. I don't know how else to explain it. You just kind of have to watch it for yourself and find out. Now, the best synopsis I can kind of give for the show is that the main plot is that Mao Mao is just an adventurous cat who wants to become a legend, but a series of events happen that kind of lead him to just being a sheriff of a small town. Very simple and straight to the point, which I really do like, but there is a chance that it could grow into something bigger like shows like Steven Universe. Do I necessarily want that? I mean, I'd welcome it, but if that's not the plan here, I'm really okay with just the way the show is. The format works, the characters work. I'm okay with what we got. Now, for those of you who are wondering, the show doesn't actually air until the 1st of July, so if you want to check out these 2 episodes, you can, or you could just wait till the show actually premieres on television. Obviously, since this is just a first impressions, I'm not going to be giving the show a letter grade or anything, but I do recommend you go check it out and give it a watch. It's really good, and I think you will enjoy it just as much as I did. And if you didn't, you do not have a soul, nor do you have a heart, because Adorabat is adorable. And if you say otherwise, we are no longer friends. Unsubscribe. Thank you.
Hey, Mao Mao.
What?
I love you.